Yo, what's good, everyone? Your boy Deke back again with another vid. They're dropping these Madden 22 ratings, so I want to do a couple videos on them. We'll start off with the top 10 edge rushers. TJ Watt is obviously in the top 10. Not number one, but we'll get into that later. Number one, Myles Garrett. Number two, Khalil Mack. TJ Watt at 3. Chandler Jones, 4. JJ Watt at 5. Number 6, Cameron Jordan. Number 7, Von Miller. Number 8, Joey Bosa. Number 9, Nick Bosa. And number 10, Zadarius Smith. A lot of people like ripping on Madden, but I am not here to do that today with their top edge rusher rankings, at least the players that they have in the top 10. We'll talk about TJ Watts a little bit later, but if you're going to say, who are the top 10 edge rushers in the league? These are the names you would put there. I think the order you could switch around a little bit, and there is one name I actually probably would bump out or at least have him lower, and that's JJ Watt. JJ Watt in 94 seems a little bit too high for where he's at in his career with some of these injuries and down seasons that he's had. It's been more due to injuries as opposed to play, but still at number 5 over Joey Bosa and Nick Bosa, even like Cameron Jordan, that's tough for me. I would bump him down to 10, if not out of the top 10. The only swap I would make is, you could see on the right the comment, Shaq Barrett with all those question marks. I'd put Shaq Barrett in the top 10, maybe bump JJ Watt out, but if they had JJ Watt at 10, Shaq Barrett at like 11, at like an 89, 88, okay, cool, whatever. The only other one I would probably swap somehow, some way, but it's not a big deal at all, is Von Miller at a 93. Maybe I'd bump him down to a 92 or a 91, but that's not a big deal. He's number 7 on the rankings. Cameron Jordan's been really solid. Chandler Jones, 94 overall. In 2019, he was a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Last year, he was hurt. And actually, he's been one of the most consistent edge rushers in the league over the past like 7 or 8 years. So I'm good with him at 94. I think they did pretty well with the top 10 list in terms of the players that should be there. Whatever order you want them to be in, that's fine. Now, the problem, though, is they have TJ Watt at number 3, and we've talked about this countless times. Went over the PFF ranking list on the podcast and went over the ESPN ranking list on the podcast. PFF had TJ Watt at 2, Khalil Mack at 1. ESPN had TJ Watt at 2, Myles Garrett at 1. Madden actually did worse than both those rankings. I didn't know it was possible, but at the same time, my expectations are really low for Madden and their rankings with Steelers. It seems like they snub them year in and year out. 94 is actually higher than what I thought they were going to give TJ Watt, because last year they completely disrespected him by giving him, was it like an 87? And that's after him just completely dominating. I mean, he was in the Defensive Player of the Year talks and was flipping games completely for the Steelers. So to have him at an 87 last year was just flat out right disrespectful. So I thought, honestly, they might only bump him up a couple ratings. But to go to an 87, 94, not bad. He, in my opinion, should be number 1. If you're going to have Myles Garrett at a 98 overall, I think you at least have to have TJ Watt at a 98 overall. As much as Myles Garrett was the number 1 overall pick, he has so much potential. TJ Watt has just flat out right had a better career than Myles Garrett thus far. He's had the better past 2 seasons. So that's what's a little bit frustrating about this. Khalil Mack at a 96, that might be a little too high too. Maybe you bump him down, but I don't know who you're necessarily replacing him with. So Khalil Mack 96, just have TJ Watt over Khalil Mack, and then worst case scenario, have him tied with Myles Garrett. I'm not even opposed to having him at a 99 overall. If Aaron Donald's getting a 99 overall, why not TJ Watt? They were both neck and neck for that Defensive Player of the Year last year. But it looks like TJ Watt's going to have to once again prove it this year. He's motivated, so maybe, just maybe, Madden could get him up in the 97, 98 range after he wins Defensive Player of the Year this year. Maybe. There's no guarantees with that. Dude could have 20 sacks. Dude could win the depoy. Madden still might just bump him up to like a 96, but we'll see. Overall, I think they did a decent job with the top 10 list. Order, bump JJ Watt out, at least a 10, maybe even 11. Put Shaq Barrett in. Von Miller, 92, 91. And then just move TJ Watt up to 1. Give him at least the 98. So those are the things I would change, but I think they got the players in the top 10 right. Let me know what you guys think down below. Hope you enjoyed. Stay chilling. Peace.